Welcome back. Great to have you with us on The Full View. It's World Food Day and we have him back on the line, the CEO of the Agricultural Business Chamber, Dr. John Purchase. Dr. Purchase, let's try again. We didn't hear you earlier. I was saying, how are we doing in terms of food security as a country?
Yes, Francis. In terms of the Global Food Security Index, which is run by the well-known London financial magazine, The Economist, South Africa ranks 44th in the world. So that's pretty good. That's out of about 140 countries. And so while we have what we call good national food security, we do know that we have a problem at household food security level, where approximately 20% of households of South Africa are not food secure. And this is the problem that we need to address urgently. And it's often because people don't have the means to buy food or to produce food.
So you're saying as a country we produce enough food, but we're still seeing many people starving unnecessarily. That's purely an economic issue, basically, access to the food.
Yeah, that's correct. One of the definitions is economic access to food. And that's because we have high unemployment, 27% officially, and it's actually higher than that. And so people just don't have the means necessary to buy food. But what we do have in South Africa is the grant or social security system, which does enable the poorest of the poor to through the grant system, to access food to a certain level at least.
Still, we're talking about the triple burden of malnutrition, people stunted because of malnutrition, also children becoming obese. Would you say this is not the problem of farmers, of producers themselves?
Well, I think it's a socio-economic problem that we have in South Africa. It's not an agricultural problem of production so much. To produce food is expensive. It costs money. You need energy, you need chemicals, you need seeds, you need various other inputs, and you need resources, water and land, etc., to produce food. So food is not for free. Nowhere in the world is it. So it's expensive to produce. That's why we have to value food, and that's why we encouraged by having a World Food Day, so that people can realize the importance of food and the value and the asset that we have in food. But we need to bring more people into the economy so that they can earn a living and can buy food in the process, so that they are food secure, their households and themselves.
Explain the state of agriculture in South Africa. How important is that sector to our overall economic growth that is elusive? I mean, agriculture arguably pulled us into recession earlier this year.
Yes, I think agriculture is doing pretty well actually in South Africa, despite the policy uncertainty that we have around issues of expropriation without compensation, etc., which is certainly not good for investments in the sector, but the sector is holding up pretty well. We are a net exporter of food, so we export more than what we import, so we are an earner of foreign exchange. When you export, you're also exporting at what we call export parity pricing. That's lower than the international price. So our food is value for money is of the best in the world, so it's relatively affordable, relatively cheap for the quality that we get in South Africa. We're growing on average at approximately 1.6% per annum is the agricultural growth rate. Now that is too low, and that does not even keep up with our birth rate in South Africa or our population growth rate. So yes, we need to get more investment into the sector. We need to grow the sector much faster, and there is the opportunity to do that. We are working very closely with government at the moment, specifically to enhance and to get more investment into the sector, because that will certainly enhance our food security too.
Well, how is the land debate, the debate around expropriation, affecting investment?
Well, it certainly is affecting investment. There's a lot of uncertainty, so the investment we're seeing at the moment there's no greenfields investment. It's what we call maintenance investment. In other words, farmers are still keeping their operations going, but they're not investing in new ventures because they're too uncertain to buy a new farm or to buy put up a new pack house or that type of thing. So generally, investment is at a bit of a standstill at the moment, and it's a wait and see, because we've got to really wait and see what the recommendations are that the Constitutional Review Committee come up with to Parliament, and that should be around about the end of November. We hopefully will see those recommendations to Parliament.
We have heard from analysts, and I'd like to hear your view, effectively that there are big farmers who are making a lot of money. They would appreciate the certainty, give us a percentage. We're willing to give away some of our farmland, some of our produce, but it could be the small and medium-sized farms that are hardest hit. What do you say?
Yes, I think what we see amongst the mega farmers or the big farmers, that they are keen to go into certain partnerships and realize that they also have to get involved in broad-based black economic empowerment ventures, etc., also to ensure their own sustainability. But it is what is often termed the missing middle, or the family farm, which is under the most pressure. Farming today is not easy. It is very expensive. And you need a fairly strong balance sheet to access finance, to can produce. A lot of the commodities, especially in the grains commodities at the moment, are under a lot of pressure because the world stocks are pretty high. So it's not an easy game. It's tough out there for the farmers. So anybody accessing it, to farming, needs to have the skills, needs to have the resources to can farm competitively.
Finally, Dr. Purchase, we did see agriculture sort of weighing on economic growth, and we're in recession. As a result, agriculture taking a huge knock, mainly because of the drought. Where is the sector in terms of recovering from those drought conditions?
Yeah, I think we must realize that the big droughts, 2 years, 2015, 2016 in the summer rainfall area, and especially 2016, 2017 in the Western Cape, did knock our agricultural growth rates significantly. But the huge maize crop that we had in 2017 turned us into a very positive growth rate. But it's because of the high base that we're working off now that in 2018 the growth rate has come down again. So it's a base issue primarily, and then also some of the maize crop came in very later this year. It's coming into the third quarter figures, where it would normally come into the second quarter GDP figures. So we are not worried at all about the growth rate at the moment. In fact, conditions both in the Western Cape, in the winter rainfall areas, but also in the summer rainfall areas, are of the most conducive that we've probably had over the last 5 years. So conditions are pretty upbeat. We understand that the farmers are going to plant a full crop this year, maize crop, 2.3 million hectares. So things are looking fairly bullish from a production point of view. But it's the policy uncertainty that's weighing heavily on the sector still.
All right, thank you very much. That was the CEO of the Agricultural Business Chamber, Dr. John Purchase. So as a country, we're producing lots of food, he says, but many children are hungry. It's about accessing that food.